In this tutorial, we will be talking about box plot. A box plot is a way of displaying data that also shows these summary statistics. It includes summary statistics that you're familiar with, but the box plot displays them and demonstrates them in a new way, which we will get to learn in the upcoming tutorial. But for this tutorial, we will be talking about the summary statistics that we have already talked about in previous tutorials of this chapter. The first one is the lowest and the highest value, or in other words, what we know, the range. The range demonstrates the highest and the lowest values. Other than that, the first and third quartile, Q1 and Q3. And when you have these two, you can get the IQR. Also, it demonstrates the median, which is something that we already know and that we have already talked about in the previous tutorials. It lies in the middle of the data set. The box plot gives an instant impression of how the data set is distributed. And so the box plot is what we're going to talk about, but we're going to leave that for the upcoming tutorial, for part 2 of this explanation. For now, let's go ahead and find the summary statistics that we're going to need in order to display the box plot. For this example, the masses in kilograms of 20 students are in order, varying from 47 kilograms up till 79 for these 20 students. Draw a box plot for this data. Now, before you do so, you need to put some summary statistics that we have already known and talked about. So for these students, you have from 47 up until 79. So the lowest is 47 and the highest is 79, and all of the weights are in the middle. To draw a box plot, the first thing you're going to have to do is to write down the summary statistics. To start with the range, you need to write the lowest and the highest value. The lowest one out of this is 47. It's the first one since it's in order. And the highest is the last one, which is 79. And so, of course, the range is going to be their difference. Now, for Q1 and Q3 and finding the IQR, let's go ahead and do what we have been learning. For Q1, first you need to find its position out of the data set. It is 1 over 4 times n plus 1. Now, it's 1 over 4 into n is 20, since we have 20 students, 20 plus 1, which is 1 over 4 into 21. And that is 5.25. So, the position is right between the fifth and the sixth value within the data set of these 20 students. It's going to be right in the middle. Now, to calculate that, you need to extract the fifth, which is this one, 55 and 58 for the sixth. Now, Q1 is basically their average, which is 55 plus 58, all divided by 2. And so that would be 56.5. So 56.5 is Q1. Now let's go ahead and find Q3. Q3, let's find its position. It is 3 over 4 into n plus 1. And that would be 3 over 4 into n plus 1 is 20 plus 1, which is 21. And so 3 over 4 times 21 is 15.75. So the position of Q3 is between the 15th and the 16th value. And counting on, we have the 15th, 66, and 67 for the 16th. So Q3 is basically their average, and that would be their sum divided by 2. 66 plus 67 divided by 2, and that would be 66.5. That would be Q3. Now, let's go ahead and find the median. The median is basically, for its position, n plus 1 over 2, and that is 21 over 2, which is 10.5. So it's between the 10th and the 11th value, because it's 10.5. So between the 10th and the 11th. Now let's go ahead and find it. The 10th value is basically 63, and the 11th is also 63. And so, of course, their median is their sum divided by 2. And since they're both the same, so it's going to be 63. And that is how you find the summary statistics. Now, in the upcoming tutorial, we're going to draw the box plot.